bringing to you guys another DFS episode of my fantasy show, and I'm going to be talking tonight about, per usual, NBA slate. It's kind of a big slate. There's still like every other day, we got to wait on some injury news. There's a lot of game time decisions. Um, so we'll have to look into that. I'm going to tell you guys again which games are better than others and where the value is. If you used my video yesterday and if you used my free cash and GBP picks, you guys should have been good to go. We're going to try to make a video every day and get you guys in the right direction. Um, Before we jump into the slate, I have some good guys at Thrive Fantasy. This is a new DFS way to play. They've been growing and getting a ton of people over the past couple of months because they have a really cool thing. I'm playing tonight. I'm going to put the sign up link in my comment section down below this video. They match any deposit fee up towards $10. So just sign up with my link below this video. I'm just going to show you guys how it works real quick. You pick a lineup. There's 20 options to pick from, and you got to pick 10 of them to make your lineup. So you basically just pick prop bets to make your lineup. You pick either the over or under of the set prop that they have set for you. Obviously, you want to pick 10 of the more comfortable plays that you like. And this is just like a double up contest. So just like FanDuel, if you beat half the competition, you'll double your money. You have the balance up top right here. It's really cool. Obviously, I'll still be playing FanDuel, but this is a really cool side thing to do as opposed to just betting Vegas odds. So a couple things I really like into this is De'Aaron Fox, 4.5 total assists. I'm going to take the over there. Now, the over is more likely, so that's why it's worth 40 less points than the under. So if you're feeling risky, you can take the under on some certain things. But I like the over for Fox. I like the over in Embiid blocks. I think that's an easy 70 points to get. Embiid is a great shot blocker, and he should be active in Toronto tonight with a bunch of guys going to have a tough time matching up against him, like Ibaka and Jonas Valanciunas. And for an example, one I love Kawhi Leonard's total points and rebounds, 31.5. That's an even spread, which is nice. I'm going to take the over and try to get 100 points there. I think he gets over 31.5 points and rebounds. I actually think he get over 31 real points. So he's got a great matchup tonight against Philly. But that's just a little test, guys. If you want to test it out, they match your deposit, and it's really cool. So diving into the slate tonight, I'm going to try to just buzz through this as fast as possible. The last couple of videos are 15, 17 minutes. It's a little too long. I'd like to stay around under 15, ideally, just so you don't get bored to death. Miami at Charlotte, I don't love this game too much. On Miami side of things, I don't really like anyone too much. I like Batum a little bit. 6,300 is a very cheap price for him. He's a pretty versatile player. I think he should be priced more towards 7K. I wouldn't say he's a cash game play, but his ability to score, rebound, and assist gives him some really good upside for GBP contests at a low salary of 6,300. As far as anyone else goes in this game, there's not really any injuries to take advantage of. I'm going to go right into the Atlanta at Cleveland game. We have Kevin Love out with his foot injury. I really, really like Larry Nance tonight. He is 6,600, but I still think his price is worth it. I'm hoping that he gets a little more minutes. 22 minutes last game with no Kevin Love was a little low for me. Yes, he produced. He's going to produce when he's out on the court, but he should be seeing at least 25 minutes when Kevin Love isn't there tonight. He's got a pretty good matchup against the Hawks. It's going to be up-tempo. It's going to be a close game. Oh, by the way, tonight's slate is really good for the fact that there's no crazy blowout potential. I love slates like this. The highest spread is 8.5 for the Celtics, and I think the Pistons can definitely stay in that game. Every other game, 4.5, 4, 5, 6, 2.5, 4, 2. All these games are close tonight, and that's really awesome for an NBA slate because it's one less thing to worry about. I hate picking my teams based on blowouts. That's a really frustrating thing to do. So this slate's looking good. Obviously anything can happen, but as far as predictions go, most games should be pretty close all the way to the end. Sacramento at Orlando. I've seen a lot of write-ups and articles. Everyone likes Aaron Gordon tonight. They think it's a really good matchup for him. 7,700. Yeah, last year I'm probably doing that, but the way he started out this year, I don't think he's really worth it. If you're going to go with him, I'd say a GBP. He's not a cash game play. He does have that high upside, 47, 44, but he's been dudding lately, more games than not. He needs to reach almost 40 fantasy points just to get value, so I think that's a sketchy play tonight. I'm not really as high as everyone else is on him. I do really like Vucevic. He didn't have a great game last game, but he should bounce back tonight. This Magic Kings game should be a really high scoring game. The Magic should be flowing pretty well on offense. They're at home. Other than last game, he's been really good. His last 3 games before that, 64, 49, 47. I don't know if I'm confident enough in cash, but he's a really good GPP guy. He's a guy that can really fill up the stat sheet on any given night. 8,800 might be a little too pricey for me in cash games, though. JJ Augustine's always a fair play at 4,400. He's probably going to start. He'll get over 20 minutes. I should expect him to get over 20 fantasy points as well. He's not a bad play. You can make the argument that he's a cash game point guard tonight if you don't want to spend up at that position, which I think you might want to. Not really high on anyone else in this game. We'll move right along. Philly at Toronto. I like Kawhi Leonard as a stud tonight. Like I said, this game's going to be very competitive. 2 of the top 3 teams in the East, barring the Celtics, they're matched up tonight, and I think it's going to be really competitive. And it's going to be a game that's really going to give the team the edge for the rest of the year based on who's better. I do think the Celtics are the best Eastern team, but it's kind of a toss-up between the Sixers and Raptors. I think this is a really important game for both teams, so I think Kawhi Leonard's in a good spot tonight. He's coming off of his rest. I definitely don't hate spending 10K on him tonight. I think he gets 50 fantasy points. As far as everyone else in this game goes, Kyle Lowry's all right at 9K. Obviously, he was a great play last night with no Leonard. But now that he's 9K with Leonard playing, it's a lot more sketchy. I don't really love anyone else in this game. Siakam was awesome last night. I mentioned him because there was no Kawhi Leonard. 4,400, you could still get away with him. He should still play up towards 25 minutes tonight. He should easily get 20 fantasy points. He's not a bad play. And Ibaka's not a bad play either. They've been running him at center. He does have a really tough matchup against Embiid tonight if he is in that center slot, but he's been really good all year. His lowest fantasy outing has been 22.9. He's a pretty good play at 5,200. He only needs 25 fantasy points to get value tonight. Definitely don't overlook either of these Raptors power forwards tonight. Detroit at Boston. I actually don't really like this game. It's definitely the best chance of a blowout, and I'm just not really going to be picking Celtics all year long. Like I said in prior videos, it's just really hard to predict which guys are going to go off on any given night. Kyrie Irving's pretty low price at 7,500. If you do want to go any route on the Celtics, I'd probably say you go Kyrie, but even his game log has been sketchy. He's been all over the place, so you never know. I do like Kyrie if you're going to go that route. But anyone else in this game, I'm not really liking. Detroit, Blake Griffin always has that chance of going off, but he's up towards 9,000, so I don't love it. He played terrible his last game against the Celtics, so the Celtics are going to be looking to shut him down once again. I'm not a huge guy on any Pistons. I'm just not a huge guy in general in this game. Clippers at OKC. This game is pretty intriguing. I like Beverly at 4,600. Even Shea Alexander is a pretty good play. He's been playing really well in his first season here, coming off the bench. He had 35 fantasy points last game. You can't expect that again, but he's been consistently getting over 20 minutes, so I don't mind him. I don't mind Beverly either. They're going to need his gritty defense to play against Westbrook in this game, so expect Beverly to see 25 minutes at least tonight. Lou Williams is in an awesome spot too. They're going to need a spark off that bench if they want to have a chance in this game in OKC. And Lou Williams is coming off of a really solid 2 performances. He only played 15 minutes last game and he had 28 fantasy points. That's really good production, and I expect to see him be on the court a little longer in this game. So he's a pretty good play at 5,200. He's normally a guy who's over 6K. Gallinari's got a pretty low price tag at 6,300. I wouldn't hate if you go that route. Harrell's more of a GPP guy. He's been going off all year, but then he can have those weird games where he only plays 13 or 16 minutes. So you always have that risk involved. 5,700 is still not too high of a price for him, seeing that he can get over 40 fantasy points. So if he's playing well, Doc will keep him out on that court. So he's a good GPP play. Keep an eye on the Thunder centers here. They're both game time. I'm hoping one plays and one doesn't, just so we can lock them in at center. They have no one else. If both centers can't play, they literally don't have another center on their roster. So I think they're gonna make someone play tonight. I'm hoping it's not both of them, but if one guy's out, definitely lock in the other guy here. Washington at Memphis. We have no Markieff Morris. This is big news. I really love Kelly Oubre, but now that he has a game time decision illness tag, we got to really pay attention to his status. Seeing that it's an illness, it's probably going to come even closer to the tip-off, which I hate because they're just going to see how he's feeling in warm-ups and shoot-around. So if we can get news on him before lineups lock at 7 Eastern tonight, I really love him. I also really love Jeff Green. If Oubre's out, you got to lock in Green. I even like Green even if Oubre's in. They're going to need some forwards to fill in on these Markieff Morris minutes. And Jeff Green's been really good even while everyone is healthy. He only needs 20 fantasy points, and I think he's easily going to get that tonight. So he's almost a cash game play. He can be a cash game play tonight. Everyone else in this game I'm all set with. Memphis has a really good defense. It's just not a really good game to stack. You could maybe punt the play at Mahimi at center because there's no Morris. Maybe he sees a little uptake in minutes, but who knows. Portland at Houston, this is another pretty appealing game. I love Chris Paul tonight. No Harden. He didn't play well in Harden's absence last game, but I don't expect that to happen again. I think he's the guy to spend up tonight. I think he's a huge cash game play. Him and Kawhi Leonard are my two favorite studs to spend up on tonight, so definitely look towards Chris Paul's way. I like Eric Gordon too. He should have low ownership because he's been playing really bad while Harden's been out. But he'll still see the minutes. He's going to see over 30 minutes. If he catches fire shooting the ball, he's a great play. He's a guy that can easily exceed value, and he should actually see some low ownership tonight in a pretty good spot. So I don't mind Eric Gordon either. I like Gerald Green as well with no James Ennis. Gerald Green's price went up to $4,500, but not bad there. It's still a pretty good play. But that's going to sum it up, guys. I like Capella, too, at 8,200. He should see the floor for a while tonight and get over 40 fantasy points. You could make him a cash game play, too, but I still love those Thunder centers if one of them is playing and one of them isn't. So that'll sum it up, guys. Until next time, I am the FD Guru. Dime